to this computer. Boom, we are recording at the request of students who would like for me to record this very brief example that we're going to do today. All right, so we're going to do very quickly, we're going to do some syncing of audio and video. That's what we're going to do very briefly today, because you're all going to be doing this. So this is the key thing that you really need to keep in mind when we are syncing audio and video. Okay, I want everyone looking at my face right now, because I'm going to drill this into your head to make sure that you understand this. This is mission critical. So if you're in my room, turn around, see my big giant face on the screen so that I know you're paying attention. Okay, all right, everybody. There we go. All right, solid. Okay, people at home, people in my room. Okay, ready? This is my serious face. Are you ready? Okay, it is critical, absolutely critical, mission critical, that before you edit anything from now until the rest of time, before you do any editing whatsoever, you need to sync your audio with your video. So if you recorded something where you recorded the audio separately, like you all did for your interviews, because you have an audio recorder, right? So you recorded your audio and your video separately, okay? It is critical that you sync that stuff up first before you do any editing. If you fail to do that, not only will you make your life way more difficult for yourself, but you will potentially lose all the work that you've done, because once you start syncing stuff, it'll mess up all your edits anyway. So you will waste all the time that you spent editing it, and then you're going to add additional time onto that when you try to sync stuff. It's going to be a huge, massive waste of your time, hours, maybe even days of work. Okay, so it is absolutely critical before you edit anything from now until the rest of your life. Always sync your video and your audio together first. Now, when you guys did your mockumentaries, I had you do this manually. I had you sync your audio and your video together just by hand. I'm going to teach you the shortcut now. I'm going to teach you the easy way to do it so that it becomes a lot easier. I wanted you to learn how to do it manually, which is why I didn't teach this to you first. And now that we're doing it for our documentary, I'm going to teach you how it is done. All right, so open up your Premiere if you haven't already. I'm going to bring up mine. I'm going to open up my Premiere here. And while it's loading, I'll tell you a fun story. I had a Zoom bomber today. Some random person showed up in my class and asked and said he had a question. And I was like, yeah, what's your question? And then he disappeared. Everyone was like, that person wasn't in our class. And I was like, oh, I guess I better enable the waiting room so that I don't have any weird Zoom bombers. And for the rest of class, somebody kept trying to get into my class. And the person changed their name to Matt Taylor, which I thought was really funny. And they changed their avatar picture to my picture, which I thought was really funny. And my students all thought it was really funny. And they all really wanted me to let him into the room to see what he was going to do. But I didn't want to do that in case it was going to be something inappropriate or something. So after all the students left, after everyone left, Matt Taylor was still in the waiting room. So I let Matt Taylor into the room. And this person in a very thick accent, a fake thick accent, was like, yes, hello, hello. And I laughed and I said, wow, it's really weird to be talking to myself like this. And the person said, I only have one question. And I was like, yeah, go ahead. And the person said, why are you impersonating me? Which I thought was kind of funny. I thought that was kind of funny. And I said, well, you're just so good looking. And we both kind of laughed. And then he said, well, that's all. That's my only question. Have a nice day. And I was like, okay, have a nice day. So as Zoom bombers go, it was very polite and very innocent and kind of a fun little prank. But I thought that was kind of funny. I've heard horror stories of other Zoom bombers that have not been so innocent. So I have to be somewhat cautious about that. But I thought that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun, which reminds me, I should probably enable. Oh, I do have my enabled room. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to share my screen because this is my Premiere. My Premiere is amazing. There it is. All right, so there is my Premiere screen. Those of you at home can see it. Those of you here in the classroom can see it. Everything is beautiful and wonderful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my documentary project. I have pre-prepared it just for you. And what I have in here is I have an interview. Here's a freestyle interview that somebody conducted at Freestyle here many, many years ago. And here it is in my bin with its video and with its audio. I've got both the video and the audio, and everything is there in my bin, all ready to go. Okay, so if you are following along with me here in the classroom and you want to use this exact same footage because you don't have an interview to work with, you're welcome to do so. The footage that I am using can be found. I'll show you where. It is found here under the assets share on the server. And you can go to class assets, which is right here, class assets. And then I've got interview example for syncing. And this is what I have imported into my timeline today. If you're not following along with me, this is honestly really just a couple of buttons. It's actually pretty easy. It's not the end of the world if you don't have anything to work with at home, or if you're here in class and you just want to see what I'm doing, it's okay. As long as you understand what you need to do later today. Okay, so here's my footage. As you can see, I've got all my video stuff, and then I've got my audio clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my video stuff. I'm going to bring it into my timeline. I've already created my sequence. And here is my audio interview of my friend Rohit, who was one of the best students I ever had. And he is just graduating from USC. So good film student, good film student. And here he is being interviewed about freestyle and his experience at freestyle that was done for a video for the okay. So there he is. That's his interview. But I don't want this sound because this is camera sound. If I play it, you can hear it sounds like garbage.
Freestyle is probably one of the only schools that
garbage.
Has the ability to let
super quiet. It's windy. Kind of nobody wants to hear that. I want this stuff, which is the audio recorder audio. You can see he's wearing a lav mic. Let's give this a listen.
Laid back, but it's laid back
so
in a
much better.
Way that we're laid back and we're comfortable.
So much better, so much clearer. You can see what a huge difference a good mic and a good audio recorder makes. So I'm going to bring in my my audio recorder audio, which is nice and green. So here is my video and here's my audio. How on earth am I going to sync this up? Well, I could do what you did during mockumentary, and I could sit here and make this bigger. And I could sit here and kind of look at the waveform and try to match it up. And that might, but that's going to take me a while. I don't want to have to do that. Isn't there some way I can do this automatically? Why, yes, student of mine. Yes, there is. There is a way that you can do this automatically. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to sync this up in all of its glory. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to highlight a clip here. So I've highlighted my last clip and I've highlighted my audio, and I'm going to right click because right clicking is the answer to everything in Adobe. And I'm going to go to, where is it? Where did it go? Synchronize. There it is. I'm going to go to synchronize. I'm going to choose the audio bubble and I'm going to say, okay. And Premiere is going to think about it for a while because it's going through all that waveform and boom, done, synced. Look at that. And now if I play this clip.
Like a sound bite.
I know.
It's all synced up. And now I can mute this camera audio track that I don't want.
What, you're saying none of this is a soundbite?
There you go. And now it's all just my audio recorder audio and it sounds wonderful and it's in sync. Okay. So now I got to do that for all these clips because last time I checked, I can't highlight more than one clip and synchronize. See, it won't let me. I can only do one video clip at a time, which is kind of annoying. I wish I could do more. That's something that maybe Premiere will add one day. The synchronize feature they added not that long ago. It's been around for a few years now, but it is something that they added a while back. So now I'm going to sync another clip. Now I got to be careful because if I start with this clip now and I sync this and say, okay, it's going to think about it. It's going to think about it. And boom, done. And it's synced. And actually it kept it. My other shot is still in sync. So that's cool. But sometimes it'll get these things mixed up. So sometimes if I sync one clip, it'll get another sync. It'll get another clip out of sync. So you got to kind of be careful with that. So usually what I like to do is once I have a clip synced, I like to cut it. See, I like to cut it. So now I can highlight this and I know I'm not going to get this part out of sync because this part is done. That part is synced up and ready to go. So now I'm going to sync this one And I'm going to sync this one by audio. And I'm going to think about it for a minute. And boom, done. All right, that one's synced. And now I can cut this one. Boom, done. And now this one is synced. And I can do that for all these little clips until they're all finished. And then everything will be nice and in sync. And I can play it
To the
through.
collegiate level and do our work, even if it's not in an artistic field. I mean, a lot of kids at freestyle don't actually go in artistic fields, and that's okay.
There you go. So we've got a nice, clean, beautiful sounding interview. Now, I got to be careful because once I start editing this, everything's all synced up now and I'm really happy. I'm just going to delete this for a moment and pretend that this is my whole thing. So I've got all my stuff synced up here and ready to go. If I start cutting this up, I say, oh, I really like this part. I really like this part. And I want to move this part over here. And oh no, now I'm out of sync. I don't want to do that, but I want to move this part. Oh no, I'm out of sync, right? So you got to kind of be careful about that. So like, how do I keep this in sync? Well, you could group it. But if I group it, I can't move just one of these clips, even if I start cutting it up. I can't highlight just a portion of it. Like it's going to stay grouped as a whole big whole. And I want to be able to shuffle it around and edit it and do all that kind of stuff. So grouping's probably not the best way to do it. What I want to do maybe is link this stuff together. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to make sure that all my cuts are in the same places. Now they are. I got all these cuts in the same places. And what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to take my audio here. And I'm going to just replace my camera audio with my audio recorder audio. Okay, and now I can highlight these two and I can right click, and I can link these together. And now they're linked. And now I can move this and edit this around and it's going to be locked together. I can highlight this, link. Now it's linked. It's married together. And now if I cut this up, boom, 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 boom. It's all linked together. See that? Isn't that handy? So that's the way that I would suggest doing it. The only part that you got to be careful with is if you had some bit of sound that maybe you recorded not on the audio recorder and it's only on your camera, like, and you want to use it, you got to be careful with that. Or if you recorded audio on your audio recorder that's not on camera, but you want to use that audio. So you kind of got to think about that and use it around. Okay. It is critical, absolutely critical, that you sync your video and your audio together before you do any editing. Because if you don't, you're going to have all these clips, all these cuts all over the place. And then you're going to try to sync it up. And now instead of one interview, one time to sync, now you've got like 50 times to sync. Have fun with that. You just wasted a whole bunch of time, or you just created a whole bunch of wasted time that you got to deal with now. So don't do that. Like sync first, always and forever, on any project, on your future projects, on your narrative project, on your other projects that are coming up. All right. Make sure that you always sync your audio and video together first before you start editing. It will create way less stress for you, Okay. So your assignment today is for you to go home and sync up your interviews. That's your assignment. Okay. It's to go home and sync your audio and video today while this is fresh in your mind, because I want you to do this while you still remember it. Don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it on Wednesday or Thursday, because you're going to forget. You're going to forget. Although I will upload this to YouTube because Autumn requested it so very nicely. And that, folks, is how you sync audio and video. I'm going to go ahead and end the audio recording here. So long, future YouTube people watching this on YouTube. That is all. Okay.